You analyze every angle, map every possible outcome in your mind, and then watch someone less intelligent, less prepared, take what should have been yours. You move through rooms feeling like a ghost, present but unseen, speaking but unheard. Your ideas floating into the void without leaving a trace. And when you finally decide to act, to make your move, to claim your respect, it's too late. The moment has passed. The opportunity is gone. You're left with the hollow echo of your own hesitation. Why? Because you were taught a lie so pervasive, so culturally embedded, that to question it feels like a moral crime. You were taught that being a good person, being kind, considerate, transparent, was the ultimate key to success and respect. And it worked. It made you manageable, predictable, exploitable. It turned your intelligence into a tool for others, your empathy into a lever they could pull, and your conscience into a cage you built for yourself. This was not an accident. It was a design, a societal design that needs a certain number of people to be cooperative, to be nice, to follow the rules without asking the most dangerous question: who do these rules actually serve? But today, that ends. The wise man does at once what the fool does finally. Machiavelli. This is not a quote about speed, it's a quote about sequence, about understanding the precise, non-negotiable order of operations that separates the powerless from the sovereign. The fool believes thinking, moving, and striking are separate events. He thinks, he deliberates, he moves awkwardly, he strikes weakly, and he fails. The strategist knows they are one fluid motion, a temporal dominance sequence, and this sequence, think like a strategist, move like a shadow, strike like thunder, is the master key to an art they try to delete from the human library, the art of dominance. Not dominance over others through force, that's for brutes, but dominance over the game itself, over your own reactive emotions, over the predictable rhythms of social manipulation. Dominance that makes you untouchable, respected, and silently feared in the right ways. This video is your tactical breach into that forbidden knowledge. We will dismantle the three-phase weapon system that has been used against you, and we will hand you the controls. I promise you this, by the end, you will understand why your intelligence has felt like a curse and how to transform it into your greatest strategic asset. You will see the invisible architecture of power you've been bumping against in the dark, and you will be given the first foundational command to stop being a participant in your own exploitation. If these ideas resonate with you, hit that subscribe button for more top-tier content. Also drop a strategist mode in the comments so I know you're ready. Let's dive in. Let's name the enemy clearly. Your current existence is one of phase collapse. You try to strike like thunder when you haven't moved into position. You try to move like a shadow when you haven't thought like a strategist. You are attempting to fire a weapon you haven't loaded, aimed, or even understood. The betrayed intellectual is not lacking in power. You are drowning in misapplied power. Your energy is everywhere, and therefore it is nowhere. Phase 1. Thinking like a strategist. This is not daydreaming. It is not anxiety-fueled rumination. It is the cold, geometric mapping of the territory. It is asking, what are the true resources in play? Not just money or title, but attention, loyalty, fear, and time. Who holds them? What do they want? What do they fear more than they want? You have been taught to think in terms of right and wrong. The strategist thinks in terms of force and resistance. This is your 30,000-foot view. Without it, you are not a player. You are a piece on someone else's board. Phase 2. Moving like a shadow. This is the phase your social conditioning has violently amputated from your psyche. To move like a shadow is to understand that between the plan and the payoff lies the most critical operational window, the period of invisible adjustment. It is the withdrawal of your emotional endorsements. It is the silent repositioning of your resources. It is becoming a void of reaction, which forces the other pieces on the board to reveal their moves, their needs, their desperation. The shadow does not hide out of fear. It moves unseen to gather intelligence and to conserve the one resource you've been hemorrhaging: focus. Phase 3, striking like thunder. This is the moment the fool rushes to and the coward runs from. For you, it has been a source of paralysis because you believe the strike is an act of aggression. It is not. It is an act of announcement. Thunder does not argue. It does not persuade. It declares a new atmospheric reality. Your strike is not the beginning of a conflict. It is the end of a strategic process. It is the inevitable kinetic release of the potential energy you stored in phases 1 and 2. It feels sudden to the observer. To you, it is merely the closing of a circuit you built in silence. Your life of being overlooked, of having your ideas stolen, of feeling the frustration of seeing the correct move but being unable to execute it, is not a personality flaw. It is a training deficit in this specific triad. So we begin where all dominance originates, in the mind. But we must surgically remove the false version of thinking you've been sold. You believe thinking is about finding the correct answer, the moral answer, the agreeable answer. The strategist knows thinking has only one purpose: to identify points of leverage. Leverage is the psychological and situational fulcrum where minimal applied force creates maximum displacement. Your kindness was not leverage. It was a counterweight others used against you. Your transparency was not leverage. It was a blueprint you handed to your competitors. Thinking like a strategist requires a fundamental inversion of your cognitive priorities. Stop asking, what is the right thing to do? Start asking, what is the most influential thing to do? Stop asking, how do I make them like me? Start asking, what do they need from me that I can control the supply of? This is not cynicism, this is clarity. It is the difference between a chef who follows a recipe and a chef who understands chemistry. One can make a dish, the other can invent a cuisine. Your first tactical command: for the next 72 hours, I want you to perform a leverage audit on every significant interaction. Do not act differently, simply observe. In every conversation, every meeting, every exchange, identify one point of potential leverage. Where does the other person's desire, fear, or need become visible? Just one. You are not to use it. You are only to see it. This is retraining your perception to see the hidden circuitry of power that has been operating around you and through you without your conscious consent. This is the foundation, because a strategist without leverage is a philosopher, and philosophers get used by princes. With the map drawn, you now face the most perilous, most misunderstood phase, the movement. This is where the betrayed intellectual soul screams in protest, because you have been taught that to be good is to be visible, to be moral is to announce your position, to be strong is to confront. The shadow knows this is a suicide pact. To move like a shadow is to embrace strategic invisibility. It is the art of repositioning without telegraphing your intent. It is the withdrawal of emotional and social validation to observe what rushes in to fill the vacuum. When you stop reacting, you stop feeding the system that was built to harvest your reactions. Think of your attention, your approval, your emotional engagement as a currency. You have been spending it lavishly, promiscuously on anyone who makes a demand. You have been financing your own manipulation. The shadow closes the bank. This is what true detachment looks like in practice. It is not running away. It is becoming a silent, observing node. You are present, but you are no longer a source of supply. You listen, but you do not validate. You see, but you do not react. In this void, something profound happens. The people around you, conditioned to expect your compliance, your empathy, your predictable niceness, begin to malfunction. They reveal their hand. They overextend. They become anxious. They show you what they truly want by scrambling in the silence you create. This phase feels like weakness to the conditioned mind. It feels like passivity. It is, in fact, the most aggressive form of data collection. You are not doing nothing. You are executing a controlled energy burn, forcing every other system to expend theirs, revealing their patterns, their weaknesses, their dependencies on you. Your second command: create one shadow period per day. 60 minutes where you consciously withdraw all non-essential emotional and verbal validation. In conversation, respond with silence, then a neutral "I see." In digital space, do not react, do not like, do not comment. Observe what this silence does to the ecosystem around you. The data you gather here will be more valuable than any advice you've ever been given. Now, the release, the strike. You have mapped the territory. You have repositioned in silence, gathering intelligence and conserving energy. The leverage points are clear. The moment of maximum vulnerability in the other position is exposed. The strike is not an emotional outburst. It is a kinetic declaration. It is the single decisive action that alters the reality of the game. It could be a no delivered without apology. It could be a boundary enforced without explanation. It could be a demand made without negotiation. It could be walking away without looking back. Thunder is not concerned with being liked. It is concerned with being real. Your entire life, you have feared the strike because you have been taught it is mean, it is aggressive, it is damaging. But consider the cost of never striking. The resentment that metastasizes, the opportunities that rot on the vine, the self-betrayal that becomes your identity. The strike, when preceded by the strategist and the shadow, is not an act of chaos. It is an act of integrity. It is the outer world finally conforming to the strategic reality you have constructed inwardly. The key is that the strike must be disproportionate in its precision, not in its violence. It must be a complete, definitive response to the calculated opportunity. It must leave no room for debate. It must be the period at the end of the sentence, not the beginning of a negotiation. This is how you transmute the rage of the betrayed into the authority of the strategist. The energy is the same. The application is geometrically different. Your third command: identify one long-standing, unresolved situation where you have been the nice person. Where you have the map, you've been the shadow. Plan a single, decisive action that resolves it, not a conversation, an action. An email sent, a door closed, a line drawn. Make it clean, make it irreversible, and make it without a follow-up explanation. This is your first conscious lightning bolt. Alone, each phase is a skill. Together, they form a self-reinforcing cycle of dominance. The strategist's mind makes the shadow's movement intelligent, not cowardly. The shadow's movement makes the thunder's strike unexpected and devastating. The thunder's strike creates new territories for the strategist to map. This is the art. This is what separates the prince from the pawn. You are not learning three things. You are learning one thing with three interdependent expressions. When you internalize this, you stop living in reaction. You begin operating in cycles. You become a closed-loop system of power generation. The people who used to drain you will suddenly find nothing to grab onto. The situations that used to trigger your anxiety will appear as simple geometric problems. The respect you craved will appear as a byproduct, not a goal. Your hidden self, the angry, calculating, ruthless self you were taught to suppress, is not your enemy. It is your strategist, your shadow, and your thunder. It is the integrated self that can no longer be manipulated because it sees the game, moves outside its gaze, and rewrites its rules. Let's ground this. Now, what does this triad look like on a Tuesday? You are in a meeting. Your idea is ignored, then repackaged by a charismatic colleague. The old you feels the heat of betrayal, struggles internally, maybe mutters a weak objection, then spends days seething. Phase collapse, all thunder, no strategy, no shadow, the weaponized you. Strategist. In real time, you map. This person needs to be seen as innovative. Their leverage is social capital. My leverage is the foundational idea they don't fully understand. The boss's need is tangible results. Shadow. You withdraw. You do not validate the theft with your reaction. You become silent. You let them own the idea fully. You observe as they struggle to explain the depths they've stolen but cannot comprehend. Thunder. At the moment of their maximum confusion, you speak. Not with emotion, with clarity. To build on. Point: the critical execution risk is X. My analysis suggests the pivot needs to be Y. You have not reclaimed your idea. You have positioned yourself as the necessary key to their success. You have struck by embedding yourself deeper into the chain of necessity. You have dominated the reality of the situation. This is weaponized detachment. You are emotionally disengaged, but strategically hyper-engaged. You are indifferent to credit, but ruthless about positioning. You are no longer a participant in the drama. You are the director of the play. This is the ultimate promise. Not money, not fame, not the shallow victory of defeating a rival. It is untouchability. When you master this sequence, you become psychologically non-porous. The opinions, manipulations, and emotional demands of others hit the surface of your operational mind and slide off. They cannot get in because you are no longer where they are aiming. You are in the strategist's map, in the shadow's movement, in the timing of the strike. Your energy, once a public resource, becomes a private reactor. Your confidence is no longer derived from external validation, but from the silent execution of a superior process. You move through the world with a quiet, unshakable certainty that you can handle what comes, not because you're tough, but because you have a system. You will notice the desperate reactive strikes of those still trapped in phase collapse. You will see their panic, their emotional bids, their transparent manipulations, and you will feel nothing but the calm of a strategist observing predictable variables. This is the rebirth of the betrayed intellectual, not as a harder, crueler person, but as a sovereign one. Your intelligence finally has a purpose worthy of it, the governance of your own existence. If you are ready to leave the confusion and the resentment behind, if you are ready to trade the prison of being nice for the sovereignty of being strategic, then your next move is clear. It begins with a declaration. Type dominance in the comments below. That word is your first conscious strike. It is a signal to yourself and to this growing legion of silent strategists that you are done with the old game. And if you know that this is only the beginning, if you feel that this is the first layer of a deeper, more potent psychological arsenal you need to build, then you need to be here with us permanently. Subscribe to this channel. This is not a self-help channel. This is a strategic intelligence briefing. Here, we dissect the dark psychology of power, the Machiavellian principles of social dynamics, and the Jungian integration of the shadow for one purpose only: to arm you for a world that preys on the unaware. We go deeper into the mechanics of manipulation defense, the architecture of emotional invincibility, and the advanced applications of strategic silence. If you are serious about transforming your latent potential into tangible, unshakable power, this is your command center. And whatever you do, don't stop now. The on-screen video matters more than you think. It details the single most critical error people make when trying to implement detachment, an error that collapses everything we've built here: Trust me, you don't want to miss it. I'll see you there. See what others miss. Know what others fear. Become who others can't.